Like, how do you keep it going in the relationship secrets for those out there who are like, how is this even possible?
Wow, that's honestly, I think we have a lot to offer in that regard. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. We've worked so hard on our relationship. It started with therapy. It started with couples therapy. We went to therapy about 4 or 5 years ago, and we learned the tools that, and I hated it when people would say that. So let me see if there's a different word. Because before I did therapy, people say, "Oh, now I have tools to deal with hard conversations." It's like we learned how to see each other and communicate in a way that made sense for us. So we basically wrote our own language in our relationship. Whereas before, I was taking my family's language and she was bringing her family's language into this relationship. And we were trying to be like, she's speaking her family, I'm speaking my family, and we're kind of seeing eye to eye, but not really. And then when I realized, like, hey, we gotta wipe everything out and we gotta build our own language of respect, love, fun, how do we spend our leisure, like literally everything, and letting our families were out of the picture just because we lived in Texas
I think a
and no one
big
else
thing
was there.
too is, again, one of our biggest advice is therapy is amazing, and couples therapy we would recommend to anybody.
No shame.
But one of the biggest things that we took away from therapy is that she would constantly question when one of us would say something that felt kind of like an absolute or was a very hard thing of, well, Davis thinks this or I think that. And she would just gently question, well, what would it feel like if it wasn't that way? Or if Davis could know something about you. And she just kind of gently nudged us out of extremes into more of gray area to where we could meet together in the middle. And I think that that's been huge for us as we've gone on and taken on a business together, being together 24/7, taking photos together, which again is sometimes.
Oh my gosh, guys, taking photos together. And we do this for our job. Every couple is for like, so there's a niche of what we do on Instagram when we meet up with other couples that take photos of themselves with tripods in exotic places. Surprise. There's only a handful of us that really do this. But when we see each other, we all just laugh about like how many fights we get in these like epic viewpoints. And so there's people there that are like experiencing it on their vacation. And then they see us doing some like really romantic thing. And they're just like, who are these people? And then we start fighting.
We're not fighting. It's more like a creative difference.
We're discussing with
yeah.
strong opinion.